Welcome back to the Crypto Channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, Bitcoin is once again rejecting from this important line of resistance in the immediate short term. But while this is happening, technically speaking, this bullish divergence on the 3-day time frame is still currently active for the price of Bitcoin, while Ethereum is now once again rejecting from this important Fibonacci resistance, while Chainlink is at risk of forming a new bearish price pattern that we need to pay attention to. So I'll be talking about all of that and more later in the video, so definitely watch to the end. First of all, just before taking a look at the Bitcoin and crypto charts today, taking a quick look at the US stock market. This right here is the S&P 500 index on the 1 hour time frame, and we can see that so far, as of recording this video, the stock market has just opened back up again, and it opened slightly below the previous trading day close. So basically in the after hours yesterday, or the pre-market today, it did have a slight little drop, but so far throughout the trading day, at least as of recording this video, it is obviously pushing a little bit higher here, as we can see. And so just keep this in mind. While the US stock market is continuing this recovery out of that previous pullback that we saw over the last couple of weeks, this can, of course, help Bitcoin and crypto in the shorter term. It's basically unlikely we'll see a huge crash for the crypto market, at least while the stock market is looking like this. So keep that in mind. But if we're taking a look at the Bitcoin charts today here on the weekly time frame, technically speaking, the super trend indicator on this time frame for Bitcoin is still sitting in the red, indicating a larger correction or a larger bearish market. And if we're taking a look at this weekly Bitcoin price chart, we still technically have a massive bearish divergence playing out, which has not yet been invalidated. So keep that in mind. Overall, this is obviously more of a longer term signal. It's not a short term signal telling us to expect a lack in bullish momentum and a lot of weakness, most likely some bearish price action. That's exactly the words I was using all the way back here, almost all-time highs, warning about what was to come next. And I'm still saying the same thing right now, because overall, this has not yet been invalidated. And if we're taking a look at the 3-day Bitcoin price chart, just over the last couple of days, in more of the shorter term here, we've confirmed a new bullish divergence, a smaller bullish divergence than, of course, the larger bearish divergence on the weekly time frame. And usually a bullish divergence means we're most likely going to see either a slight bullish relief or maybe just a bit of choppy sideways price action, most likely for the next couple of weeks, considering this is confirmed on the 3-day time frame. So keep that in mind. Overall, this has not yet been invalidated, alongside the larger bearish divergence on the weekly time frame not yet been invalidated. So this is potentially pointing towards a little bit of a break in the shorter term for the coming days or weeks during this larger bearish movement or larger bear market, whatever you want to call it, on the larger time frames. And if we're taking a look at the daily Bitcoin price chart, at least in the somewhat shorter term here, really over the last 1 month or so, the price has been range bound in a sideways price range, bouncing between support and resistance. First of all, we still have a lot of support at around 85 to 86,000, give or take, and a lot of resistance in between around 92 to 94,000. So continue to expect a lot of struggle and likely rejections from that area of resistance, and likewise bounces from support, obviously at this support right here at around 85 to 86,000. And if we're zooming further into the short term, taking a look at just this 6-hour Bitcoin price chart, we can see that over the last 1 day, we've now seen yet another perfect rejection from this line right here, which was previous support and is clearly flipped into new resistance over the last few days. For almost a week now, give or take, we have obviously been struggling a lot around this line of resistance, and that's sitting at roughly 90,000. And if we're especially looking at the candle closes here on the 6-hour Bitcoin price chart, that's pretty much exactly where the price rejected from 90,000. And so, as I always say, we cannot ignore potential points of resistance along the way towards the upside while we're trying to play out these bounces from support or bullish reliefs, etc. Be aware of these points of resistance along the way, like 90,000, but especially in between 92 to 94,000. If the price gets back up there, expect a lot of resistance around these areas of resistance. But if we're taking a quick look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, we can still see a lot of liquidity building above the price of Bitcoin here in the somewhat shorter term, sitting at just above 90,000, really closer towards 91,000. So at around 90.8K to 91K, give or take, we still have a decent amount of liquidity liquidity building right there here in the Bitcoin liquidation heat map. So that's still a price target to watch out for. Potentially, if we see some sort of bounce soon again, obviously right now we're still playing out a little bit of a rejection once again from this resistance. But if we see some sort of bounce soon, potentially at this major support here, it is likely that at some stage in the coming days or the next 1 or 2 weeks, especially while this bullish divergence remains active here on the 3-day time frame, it's likely that sometime soon we could be drawn towards that liquidity at just under 91,000 to take out that liquidity. As always, no guarantees, no such thing as a 100% guarantee. That's just a likely scenario based on the fact that usually, often, the price of Bitcoin tends to move towards where we have a lot of liquidity to wipe out that liquidity. And so those are the key signals and the key levels to watch out for in the shorter term, the current situation in the imminent short term, the somewhat medium term here, and of course the long-term situation not changing all that much here on the weekly time frame over the last 1 day. And if you want to actually trade any of these moves in the price of Bitcoin or any other crypto, you have to be set up ready to go on a crypto exchange. And if you want to actually use the first link below the video, actually that link will take you to this page right here over on the Pinex crypto exchange, where you can take advantage of massive bonuses that are only available using that link. For example, if you make your account using that link, you can get a 50 USDT bonus on your account just by completing KYC. And on top of that, there's deposit bonuses. If you deposit as little as 100 USDT, you get a 100 USDT bonus on your Pinex account. On top of that, if you deposit 10,000, you get a 1,000 USDT bonus onto your Pinex account. So basically a bunch of free money from the exchange, which you can actually use on Pinex over to trade Bitcoin or any other crypto if you want to over on Pinex with this free money from the exchange just by making deposits or completing KYC using that link below the video. So if you're going to be trading crypto anyway or preparing to take the next trading opportunity, you might as well check it out, take advantage of that using that first link below the video. But if you want a no KYC crypto exchange to also claim extra bonuses on it, an exchange that I also use myself, then for that, check out the second link below this video in the description and in the pinned comment, because the second link below this video will take you to this page right here over on the 2bit crypto exchange, where you can also claim exclusive bonuses that are only available using that link. And on top of those exclusive bonuses, there's also this trade protection and trader recovery fund. And so as you can see here, if you make your account using the link below the video during this event that's running right now, then you have complete loss protection for your first 7 days of futures trading over on 2bit, up to 200 USDT in trial funds. And on top of that, if you get liquidated on your trades over on 2bit over 50 USDT during this event that's running right now, then you also may be eligible for recovery compensation up to 1,000 USDT depending on your liquidation. And so once again, if you want to claim extra bonuses and protection from losses on your trades, then check it out, second link below this video. And remember, 2bit is also a no KYC exchange. But with that being said, taking a quick look at the Bitcoin dominance chart here on the daily time frame, and right now, at least so far, the Bitcoin dominance is continuing this slight bullish trend, still forming some higher lows and higher highs. Now, obviously, we don't have significant bullish momentum on the price chart, but we are just drifting slightly in the bullish direction. That's still the case right now for the Bitcoin dominance, which means Bitcoin will likely be doing a little bit better than a lot of the major altcoins out there on average. Of course, there's always outliers when it comes to altcoins, but on average, a lot of the major altcoins will likely be doing a little bit worse than whatever Bitcoin is doing, but still pretty similar price action to what Bitcoin is doing. And if we're taking a look at Ethereum on the daily time frame, right now the price of ETH is once again rejected from this Fibonacci level, which was originally support, and then it was resistance, and then support, and now it is once again resistance, and that's sitting at around $3,040. So really in between 3,000 to 3.1K, we still have a lot of resistance around there. And so we're simply just seeing another rejection from this key point of resistance. We failed the breakout. Obviously, we did not confirm any candle closes above 3,040 or 3.1K, confirming the breakout. Obviously, right now we're just rejecting from resistance, following Bitcoin in the short term, rejecting from resistance. Remember, a lot of the major altcoins will likely play out similar price action to whatever Bitcoin is doing. And if we're taking a look at the shorter term for Ethereum here on the 3-hour time frame, it is clear that obviously we got close to overbought, and right now we're just cooling off in the short term. Obviously, rejecting from resistance is the main point here, but now we're also resetting the RSI from close to overbought. We were almost at overbought, which means we went too far to the upside too quickly, and we soon need some time to cool off, which is what is now happening. And as for short-term support and resistance, first of all, we ran into this point of resistance that I did warn about in my last video based on previous support flipping into new resistance, and that was sitting at around $3,060 here on the 3-hour Ethereum price chart. And above that, I said expect more resistance at around 3150 to 3160, give or take, at least here in the short term. Those are important points of resistance. And as for support, we've just broken below this short-term point of support here, which was at pretty much exactly 3,000 or just under 3,000. Now that we're breaking to the downside, the next massive support in the short term is sitting at just above 2.8k, really in between around 2.8k to 2830, give or take. We have a lot of support around there based on these previous lows. And also keep in mind that if this drop continues a little longer, just over the next few hours, within the next one day, we'll likely hit oversold in the 3-hour Ethereum RSI if this continues, of course. And if that happens, then of course that means we went too far to the downside too quickly, and we need a little bit of time to reset from all of the bearish price action, most likely in the form of some sideways price action or slight bullish move, a bit of a bounce in the short term to reset out of oversold. So keep that in mind. We still have a little bit more room towards the downside as of recording this video, but if this continues in maybe a few hours from now, within the next one day, we could start to see another slight little relief. And if we're taking a look at the price of Solana on the daily time frame, Solana is obviously following very similar price action to the rest of the market as always. And right now that means just a slight pullback in the immediate short term. But overall, technically speaking, this bullish divergence is still currently active on the daily Solana price chart. We still technically have those lower lows confirmed in place in the price in the candle closes, and we still technically have those higher lows confirmed in place in the daily Solana RSI. And the point of invalidation would be if we see a breakdown below one of the previous lows here in the price or the RSI, that would invalidate the bullish divergence, of course. And especially if we see the breakdown in the RSI, that would be extra confirmation that the bullish divergence is completely over. But so far, considering that's not yet happened, at least as of recording this video, once again, the bullish divergence is still currently active, which means it's possible we could continue some more choppy sideways price action or a bit more of a bullish relief within the next few days or over the next 1 or 2 weeks. Remember, this is not an immediate short-term signal telling us what to expect in the next hour or anything like that. But also keep in mind, even though we have an active bullish divergence on the daily Solana price chart telling us what to expect maybe in the coming days or possibly weeks, that sort of time frame, if we're talking about a longer period of time, like multiple months, the much larger price structure or the much larger trends that we are in is technically still bearish. We've not yet confirmed any reversal or change in price structure out of this larger bearish trend. So keep that in mind. Overall, this is just a bit of a shorter term break or a relief for a period of days or possibly weeks during a much larger bearish trend. Keep that in mind. And overall, support and resistance levels have not changed over the last 1 day. So if you missed my last video, check out that video if you want to know more about these support and resistance levels. They have not changed over the last 1 day. And if we're taking a look at XRP on the weekly time frame, it's a similar situation for XRP. Of course, the bigger picture still not looking too good, as I've been warning about every day for months, since basically all the way back here at the start of August, end of July. I've been warning about this multi-month pullback coming next, and I'm still saying the same thing right now. We are, of course, running into a point of support at around $1.80, which is really the final significant level of support before potentially much lower prices, like for example, at least $1.60, most likely $1.30 to $1.40 is a likely target if we break below $1.80. So of course, if we're talking about a larger swing trade or a longer term trade, that's still a potential opportunity on the table waiting to happen, but not yet fully in play, because once again, we need a break below $1.80 to really get that going. But just keep in mind, despite whatever happens on the smaller time frames, in the shorter term, we still have that massive bearish divergence, which is still active on the weekly time frame for the price of XRP. And if we're taking a look at the daily XRP price chart, of course, the smaller or shorter term situation here on the daily time frame is a smaller bullish divergence, which is technically confirmed, and over the last half a week or so has started to play out in the form of initially a bullish relief, and obviously right now a slight little pullback following the rest of the market as usual, but can still potentially play out in the form of maybe some choppy sideways price action or a little bit more bullish relief in the coming days, maybe the next 1 week, that sort of time frame, considering at least for now, as of recording this video, this shorter term bullish divergence is not yet being invalidated. But once again, as I warned about all the way back here when we previously confirmed a bullish divergence on on the daily XRP price chart, I said back then, and I'm saying the same thing right now, this is just a shorter term signal, most likely can, yes, result in some short-term bullish price action, but overall, we can see shorter term bullish reliefs or sideways consolidations in the shorter term during the much larger bearish price structure or the longer term bearish trend, which is still the case right now. We've not yet confirmed any reversal or change in the larger bearish trend, but once again, we are currently playing out a shorter term bullish divergence, so it's likely we could continue some more choppy sideways price action or slight bullish relief in the next few days or in the next 1 or 2 weeks, give or take. But if we're talking about the longer term situation, still not looking very good if we're talking about maybe over the next few months. And as for support and resistance, obviously we still have a lot of support at around $1.80. And as for resistance, we have some resistance around $1.95, as I have mentioned over the last few days, but we have a lot of resistance at around $2 to $2.05, and more resistance at around $2.15 to $2.20. And if we're taking a look at the price of Chainlink on the daily time frame, right now the price of Chainlink is obviously following the rest of the crypto market with this slight little pullback in the immediate short term, but overall we've not yet technically invalidated this bullish divergence on the daily Chainlink price chart. Once again, the point of invalidation to basically end the bullish divergence would be a breakdown in the price in the candle closes below the previous low, or a breakdown in the RSI below this previous low, especially in the RSI, that would properly invalidate the bullish divergence. And so obviously, considering we've not yet seen those invalidation signals confirm, it means the bullish divergence, at least for now, is still technically active, which means overall, it's likely we could continue a little bit more choppy sideways price action or a slight little bullish relief within the next few days or 1 week, give or take, as a likely outcome based on the bullish divergence. And as for support and resistance, we still have a lot of support at give or take $12, really in between around $11.90 to $12.10, so roughly around $12, still acting as major support. And as for resistance, expect a lot of resistance around, first of all, around $12.80. We do have some resistance around there based on previous support flipping into new resistance at around $12.80, and above that, expect a lot of resistance really at around $13.40 to $13.50, give or take. And if we're actually zooming into this area on the price chart for the price of Chainlink, staying on the daily time frame, we can see a potential head and shoulders pattern, which is a bearish price pattern currently forming. Now, with that being said, of course, it's not a perfect textbook head and shoulders pattern. Right now, the right shoulder is clearly much smaller than the left shoulder, but if there's enough traders out there that will ultimately trade this as if it's a head and shoulders pattern, it can play out as a self-fulfilling prophecy. For example, if we confirm the break below this point of support and there's a bunch of people placing short positions, selling Chainlink, for example, then that can push the price down and basically play this out as if it is a textbook head and shoulders pattern. And so if you're actually taking this as an actual head and shoulders pattern, if you think this is fully going to play out as a head and shoulders pattern, then in that situation, the technical price target for this price pattern, if we first confirm the break below the neckline, I want to make this clear, this price target is not yet confirmed, but if we confirm, let's just say a daily candle close below these lows, below this support at around $11.90, and especially if we fail to get back above that level, in that situation, that would activate a bearish price target for this pattern at around $9.70, so just below $10. So from the point of the breakdown from the neckline to that price target, that's potentially around an 18% move towards the downside, and that's with no leverage. And so obviously that is a potential trading opportunity on our hands. We can place a short position if this first confirms a break to the downside to short or trade the move towards the bearish price target, and then take profits along the way at points of support or especially closer towards the price target as an example of a trading strategy, not financial advice. But remember, at least for now, this possible price target and price pattern is not currently in play at all. It's not yet confirmed because we've not yet confirmed any breakdown below this neckline, below this line of support. So that is definitely a crucial level to pay attention to for the price of Chainlink. And also keep in mind, we'll likely have support between that level and that complete technical price target to the downside. For example, we'll also likely find support at around $10.90 to $11 if, once again, we first confirm the break below this support at give or take $12. And so those are some potential trading opportunities and key levels and signals to watch out for Chainlink and all of these other crypto assets. And once again, if you want to take any of these trades in the price of any crypto, check out the links below this video to those exchanges if you want to claim the massive bonuses that are only available using those links. And if you want to actually know how you can take any of these trades right here, no matter what direction the price is going, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how you can profit from bullish or bearish price action using long positions or short positions, and the video in the bottom left shows shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action. But anyway, that is everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.